Daredevil Falls is a Hopkins super flume located at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. This ride is tucked away in the Craftsman's Valley section of the park, kind of off on its own, across from the Eagle Mountain Sanctuary. You can get there by going right at the park entrance and continuing up the hill towards the back of the park with Wild Eagle and Tennessee Tornado. It can easily be skipped over by many park guests due to the entrance being off the main path a bit, so it's great to do in the middle of the hot day with a mostly covered queue line and little wait times. There's a good amount of theming throughout the ride and a huge 60-foot drop at the end, which actually gives some airtime due to the ride not really having any restraint to speak of, just a grab bar to hold on to. Since the ride is a next-generation log flume, it has 2 across seating, similar to Splash Mountain, or the soon-to-be-open Tiana's Bayou Adventure in Disney World, instead of the traditional 1 across seating, like on American Plunge at Silver City, or most other older log flumes. It's also a decently long ride with some relaxing sections before the main lift hill and drop. With that out of the way, let's see how it rides. Daredevil Falls begins with a nice and relaxing opening section through the woods of the Smoky Mountains, including a few tunnels and some other minor theming pieces before reaching the ride's only lift hill. There's also a fake-out water element just before entering the lift hill, but it turns off just before you pass it. Once you reach the top, you enter a small drop and go into a room with a sign saying the Lost River Company, with a big sawmill spinning as you get closer to the final drop. There's also a bunch of other carpentry stuff on either side of the ride as well. You then plummet down the 60-foot drop with waterfalls on either side of you and water cannons shooting off as you reach the bottom, but you actually don't get that wet surprisingly unless you are in the front. Overall, this is a very fun water ride at the park and much needed on a hot summer day. It's great to do in the middle of the day when most other rides have huge wait times, which happens pretty often in the peak months of June and especially July. It gets you cooled off but not drenched, which I think makes for the perfect log flume. You can get pretty wet on the exit ramp though, since the drop goes right under it, so be sure to time that up well, whether it's to not get soaked or completely soaked. It's actually one of my favorite log flume style attractions, only behind Splash Mountain, Jurassic Park River Adventure, and Timber Mountain Log Ride at Knott's Berry Farm. It's a fun ride for the whole family, but is a thrilling drop at the end to accommodate a thrill seeker like myself, with a nice relaxing journey leading up to that point. Be sure to subscribe for more content, and be on the lookout for more coaster reviews and other theme park videos in the near future.